oh, na, oh, me, na, me, oh, we, oh, me, oh, na, me, oh, we, oh, na, oh, me, oh, quick, me, now.
Welcome to the Honey Darling Show,
now.
episode 4, right?
Yeah.
We're on 4?
We're on 4.
Yeah, alright, this is our full-on Force Awakens Spoilercast. These are spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie,
anything back.
Do not listen to this.
Unless you
stop right now.
Want everything to be spoiled for you?
We'll give you a minute of us saying that this is a spoiler cast. Well, I don't think we need to do that. But
no.
Just, 100% spoilers. We're not holding anything back. We will tell you everything about Darth Jar Jar and, Jake Lloyd's guest appearance after the credits. You'll hear all about that in this one.
Be prepared.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah, all right. So, we saw The Force Awakens. We went to the opening. There was a big line. We got there 2 hours later, and there was already 100 people there.
2 hours early.
Or what? Yeah, 2 hours early. That's what I meant.
We were 2 hours early for our showing, and we were probably about 100th in line for what was maybe a 300-seat theater.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people sit in those theaters. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot. I asked Jess, I was like, how long do you think they waited for? We got there at 10. The movie started at
midnight. People, of course, had seen, because they had started showing the movie at, 7 p.m.?
Yeah, they don't, I don't know what became, when this happened, but the whole, opening on Friday, doesn't mean anything anymore. Now it opens on Thursday. For most of the day. Are there midnight showings on Wednesday now? I remember where midnight showings were a huge deal, I know, because it was the first showing, but I guess they don't do that anymore.
Well, what happened? Actually, I think it's about box office numbers, because I think you can count anything after.
Or before.
I think you can count anything after Thursday at midnight. Or maybe even Wednesday at midnight, possibly, as weekend box office totals.
Oh, well, I haven't heard anything about Wednesday midnight showings.
Which is how we register.
But I went to a lot of midnight showings because that was supposed to be this is the opening, this is the first showing of this.
I know,
I
remember. Well, I remember working at the movie theater, and we had the midnight showings.
Yeah.
I remember the midnight showing for Spider-Man 2.
I didn't go to that, but I think I went to the midnight showing of Spider-Man 1. With Columbia again. They didn't rent out the theater, but I went with a couple guys that I had just met that said they were going there.
Yeah.
My friend Chris Leeson.
Well, I worked the midnight showing of Spider-Man 2, and we ran out of popcorn. We ran out of popcorn kernels. We ran out of soda. We ran out of ice. Somebody went to the Kroger down the street and picked up 2 liters, and we were pouring 2-liter bottles.
Did you guys buy ice like we did at Beechwood?
Yeah, we bought ice. We bought 2-liter bottles of Coke, and we were just pouring Coke into people's cups.
Yeah. We had at the bar that I work at, we had a soda issue one time, and we had to do that. We had to go buy 2 liters of soda for the owl. Because our guns messed up, our soda gun stopped working. So Scott went and just bought it. Came in
and we could not
tons of 2 liters.
Pop popcorn. We could not pop popcorn fast enough.
Yeah.
So we told people come out 10 minutes into the movie, maybe we'll have some.
But that was Spider-Man. We got completely off topic.
I know. Just saying, midnight movies.
Yeah. Well, when they were huge. Around that time they were huge. Yeah. But and I guess it's just why don't we just sell them all day? Which kind of defeats the purpose. The midnight showing is not as cool now.
However, I still feel like nerds of a certain age, our age,
will still want to go to the midnight showing.
Still hold the midnight showing as sacred, which is why I think there were so many people in line for hours before we got there.
Sure.
And we were hours early. And they told us when we got there they weren't going to let us in until 11:30.
But they let us in
which was a super line.
11. Yeah.
Was it 11? 10:50, something like that.
Yeah. So they did let us in. And I saw people with lightsabers, and I'm pretty sure they didn't make it in because I didn't see them with lightsabers in the theater.
Nope.
Because there was a sign by where they were taking tickets saying, no weapons. I was hoping to see a pile of lightsabers and other, plastic blasters and stuff by there, but I didn't see that.
I thought there might be, a coat check for your weapons.
Yeah. Check your weapon, check your Jedi cloak right over here. Stormtrooper helmets. We can't have those, so you take that.
Oddly, I think it was Super Mario Brothers, the movie, where they checked their weapons at the dance club.
I don't know.
No.
Maybe. Yeah, there was that weird dance club thing with Bertha and all
was a thing.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Super Mario Brothers, yeah, another movie that we didn't expect to talk about in this Star Wars Spoilercast. Man, we haven't said it's like 5 minutes in, and we haven't said anything about this movie.
And let me just tell you right now why we haven't said anything about this movie. I think that we have been putting this off because Trey and I do not agree.
Yeah,
we have very different feelings about this.
Yeah, sure.
And Trey has feelings that are different than a lot of people's.
Well, yeah. Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
So I think we're trying not to talk about it, is the thing.
Well, let's talk about the things that I liked about it first. How about that? There were like some awful rumors online that I heard that sounded like stupid, like completely stupid. Like I heard rumors that, one, they weren't going to put episode name in it, like it wasn't going to have the number ever. It was just going to be called The Force Awakens. I heard
so
that
we would
one.
Not know.
That one was stupid. Like they're like, oh, we want to get away from the episode titles or like episode numbers. I'm like, well, that's dumb. So when the movie started, I'm like waiting for it. All the stuff that I heard rumor, whether it was terrible, was thankfully in like the first 2 minutes of the movie. So I was relieved by that at the very beginning. I thought there was going to be no episode 7. We saw episode 7. I cheered for that. There was a scroll about, whatever. And then then the rumor was supposed to be that it panned down to Luke's severed hand holding his lightsaber.
Flying through space.
And then it was going to land on Jakku, and that Rey and Finn were going to find it there and then track him down, comparing to them finding that lightsaber. So thankfully none of that happened, because if that would have honestly happened, I would have been like pretty close to just leaving. I probably would have just stood up and left. Which I've never left.
I would expect that.
I've never left a movie. I got really close in Spider-Man 3 when Venom said "I" instead of "we." I was very close to standing up and like throwing my food at the screen and saying, "I'm going home."
I've tried to convince you at least twice in living memory, to leave movies that we've been in.
Sure.
And you will not leave them. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Kevin Smith, but Tusk was probably in the top 10 worst movies I've ever seen. Oh, and in the first 3 minutes, I tried to get Trey to leave, and he would not.
I was interested.
Had to sit there that
I was
whole time.
interested in his awfulness. I mean, it was an awful movie, but I was just kind of. I thought the Tusk suit was hilarious, and it was just so bad that I had to see like how they tried to end that thing. Just because of how bad it was. Sometimes I just want to stick into it. And just see, I just want to see like where it goes. Like, because of that one, it was just like such a mess. I thought the plot was such a mess, and the dialogue was such a mess, and the story was such a mess that it was like.
But now he has enough money to make Clerks.
I kind of want to see that he can put this together. Yeah, Mallrats 2 and Clerks 3.
So
and I don't want to say anything bad about him in case he ends up listening to our podcast.
I really hope that he does listen to our podcast at some point. Hello, Kevin and friends. However, that movie was a piece of shit.
No, well, yeah.
And I wanted to leave.
Another movie, we tried to get out of Spider-Man 2 also, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Which that movie was
Amazing
awful
Spider-Man
also.
2, real bad.
Yeah.
I did not feel that way about The Force Awakens.
Well, the hand wasn't there, yeah.
Yeah.
So you had that, and then it pans down to whatever happened there. Oh, yeah, they went to Jakku searching for Poe. What's his face? The dude from The Exorcist. You know what I'm talking about? Max von Sydow.
Oh yeah.
Didn't last very long. Like I was very pumped about him being in there because he's fucking awesome. He was Ming the Merciless.
Yep.
In Flash Gordon, which is always cool. I think we mentioned it before, but Lucas always wanted to make a Flash Gordon movie.
And who did he play in
Not
this?
A Star Wars movie.
Force Awakens.
Some old guy that gave him a key that he put in a droid. Who knows Luke Skywalker somehow? First off, in the crawl, not hiding it at all. Luke's not in this movie. Like, he's the ultimate.
We learned two things from
plot
the crawl.
Device, or
we learned two things from the crawl: that Luke is not in it, and that Leia is a general.
Yeah.
In the Resistance, and I guess we learned 3 things because we learned about whatever the fuck the Alliance is called now. What are they called?
They're called the Resistance.
What are they? What are the bad guys called?
Oh, they're called like what is it? The First Order, the New Order,
the First Order.
The Second Order?
It's definitely not New Order. I would have remembered that.
I thought it was a New Order. It's something Order.
I think it's the First Order.
Maybe. I don't know.
The 501st Order.
They should have called them the Empire 2 is what they should have called
Empire Mach 2.
I kind of wish they would have not hid their similarities to the original movie.
The First Order. That's what it's called.
Just so we'd feel less dumb for saying it. But the First Order, which...
So we're introduced to Poe Dameron right at the top.
Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron. He's got a funny name.
He does. He's
a swanky.
He's like the
pilot.
He's like, I've been reading the Star Wars comics, which since Marvel has attained the rights again, and they've been fantastic. But there was a series called Road to Jedi, I think. It was in between. It was like a miniseries in between. It was supposed to take place in between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. And the only piece of a new character you saw in that was Poe Dameron's mother. She was a fighter for the Rebel Alliance.
Oh, cool.
She's like kind of the main focus of that. I think it was called Shattered Empire.
Sure.
Yeah, Shattered Empire is the
That
series.
sounds right.
And it says Road to Force Awakens on it also. But she was in it. Like, it was more centered around her involvement after the destruction of Death Star 2 and all that. So you see his parents in that comic. So that's like the only thing you've really seen, I guess, that would be in Force Awakens later, because those other two characters are orphans, I guess.
Finn and
Rey. And Rey, yeah.
Who we loved.
I liked Finn.
Both of us loved.
I liked Rey very much.
Rey was amazing.
I thought Rey was cool. Her story in the... one of my major problems with it was that everything I felt was very predictable.
Okay, talk about that some more.
I mean, was there anything that surprised you in that movie?
No.
Really?
There was
anything that surprised you at all in
that
movie?
It just fell thing after thing after thing.
Yeah.
It was in no way surprising.
Her getting strong in the Force, I guess.
That did not mean it wasn't exciting.
You could have maybe not known about it if you hadn't seen anything of the movie anywhere.
I think you could see, because I tried, as we know from previous podcasts, I tried not
to see the trailers.
I tried not.
I wish I was able to do that, because you get more surprises in it, I guess. But it's still like. But no, at the
here's
same
what
time,
I want to
they're
say.
kind of like everywhere.
No, even carrying nothing with me, hoping for nothing. There was no way that you couldn't see the story unfolding before it unfolded.
Oh yeah, sure. Especially when you spoilers way ahead of time, but especially when you walk into the middle of a bottomless pit on a bridge that has no handles to talk to a dude with a lightsaber. I mean, come on. That was a bad move. You knew you weren't coming back from that, right? I mean, once you walk on this fucking weird walkway, which I don't know what the purpose of that is.
We're talking about Han Solo and Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
There's always a bridge over a bunch of nothing.
I know, but is this their viewing area so they can see what
they just build
part of the stuff they blew up that they need to...
Why don't they build a whole floor? Is it cheaper? I don't know. Maybe they're trying to save money.
I think they have places. They have areas called places to kill your father. It's here.
Level 3.
This is a scenic area to kill something that'll be important for the movie. Just go here. If you want to do it here, because and there's a window you can see outside.
Where's Kylo Ren? Oh, he's on level 3 killing his father.
He's in the killing father level. Yeah.
We've all
killed our fathers, actually. Everyone in the Empire, First Order, has killed their father. We all did it on that level. We put it there. So
how are they different from the Empire?
They're not.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I don't get, what I don't get about the First Order. So, the Empire was the Republic, whatever. They became the Empire when Palpatine became to power. He was a dictator, right? Everybody hated him. They tore down his statue in the end of Return when they added, all the stuff to it. And so the Republic should be smart on that, right? So in this 30 years, somehow the Republic has become accepting to people who wear white suits and shoot people and wear black cloaks with red lightsabers. And look exactly. It's basically it's basically government saying oh, Nazis can come back in here because
I just need you to be more specific. I need you to say, what are you talking about? People in white cloaks and people in black cloaks.
I'm talking about stormtroopers. You understand that, right? If our government had like a group of soldiers wearing white suits with helmets that killed people and slaughtered planets and all that. And they came back wearing those exact same clothes with like a little different helmet and said that they were a different name than what they were before. Would you be like, okay, cool, yeah, you can be part of the Republic now. I understand you. It's different now. It's been 30 years. You're still wearing the same clothes you were wearing before.
Well, but obviously nobody is saying that they're part of the Republic.
But they are, though. They said they were like a faction of it, and that's why they like went against them and destroyed them somehow. Maybe killed Coruscant.
Yeah, Coruscant, Naboo. We're not sure what planet that
and
was.
why isn't the First Order the Resistance? Because shouldn't the rebels be like the head of things now?
I think
since they overthrew the Empire, shouldn't they be the Empire now?
Yes,
I guess. I think
that yes, and I think that's just too confusing for people. If you start calling the rebels the Republic,
sure, I guess. I don't know. It's just they should have just like called it A New Hope. Is what they should have called it. They should have just called it A New Hope, the remake, and then everybody would not be confused at all. You know?
Yes.
And then we'd be fine.
So your main problem with the movie, let's just go there right now, is that you feel like it is a remake of The New Hope with different people.
I think it's a remake of the whole original trilogy in different ways.
Sure.
Like we got the ice planet in there. We got like the Endor part, like the part with Han blowing up the shit in the planet is basically them on Endor blowing up the shield of Death Star 2.
You're talking about right before Han dies.
Yeah.
They set all the charges.
Yeah.
And then they blow up
what they
Area 47 or whatever
what else?
It's called.
You know what they did in Return of the Jedi? They set charges.
Yeah.
And then they blew it up.
They did.
And it destroyed the shield.
It did.
So that the X-Wings could blow up the Death Star. That's the same thing that they do in this movie.
You're right.
They set charges to blow up the shield so they can shoot the giant... There's not a giant toilet in this one, unfortunately.
Yep.
Unfortunately. But, Nia Num's there, too. He came back again.
He did.
And he's like, I know about Death Stars, dude. Like, that one part... We're skipping all over the place. But the part where they, like... This part, like, almost made me faceplant myself. But when they were like... This is the Death Star, and this is the circular base when it's like 20 times the size of it.
Yeah.
It's like our dicks are way huger than the guys who made the first one, is basically what they were saying. I felt like. I mean, that's like basically, that should have been the trailer for the movie, was that like single part there.
Yeah.
Was him saying like, here's the Death Star, and here's the new Death Star. And that's the trailer. Because that's like kind of what I felt was a lot of the feel of that movie. It's like we're going to take the stuff that happened before, we're going to flip it a little bit, and we're going to make it bigger.
Yep.
We have a base that can destroy 5 planets this time, instead of 1. You know?
Yes.
I mean, I hope to God that Episode 9 doesn't have a Death Star that can destroy like 10 planets, because that would be like...
No, I think we'd all give up after that.
I mean, you might as well like... I don't know, you might as well, like, blindfold me or something before you kill me. I don't know.
Okay, but there's a lot of good stuff in this movie, and I would argue that we need to pass the torch in a way that's...
I'm fine with passing the torch. I just really wish that it wasn't, like, so familiar. Like, I love Finn. Finn was cool. I loved Rey. Rey was awesome. I loved BB-8. You know what I mean? I understand he's totally a replacement for R2, but he's a good replacement. He's funny, you know.
He's funny.
He's got grappling hooks, you know. I like grappling hooks. They're in everything.
You need a grappling hook.
I had, like... A lot of people loved Kylo Ren. I honestly...
Do you think a lot of people loved Kylo Ren?
A lot of people did love Kylo Ren,
Okay, well, I'm going to agree with you
I
on
did
this
not,
one.
I did not
Kylo
like
Ren
Kylo Ren.
is a whiny bitch.
I felt like he was not a compelling villain at all.
No.
I felt like he was just a fucking whining bitch that's, like, going to have lightsaber tantrums on stuff. I didn't find that. A lot of people felt he was complex. I didn't think that was complex. I didn't like Snoke at all. Like, I didn't understand what he was. Like, hopefully they'll develop him later.
Which one's a Snoke?
Snoke's the giant fucking CGI dude that shows up.
The great
for no reasson,
power,
really.
or whatever the fuck
Supreme
it's called.
Leader Snoke.
Supreme Leader, thank you.
Yeah. And you know what? I was pumped about Phasma.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she'll have more later, but
really
she doesn't really have anything in it.
But I want the toy of her, so if
anybody
anybody
wanted
wants
her
to
to be,
send me a present, I really want the Phasma
Yeah, she
toy.
has this awesome silver...
I really like her shiny...
She has this awesome silver
suit.
Armor, and...
She looks very cool. We don't even know that she's a woman.
And she's the fucking girl from... Well, we know that from casting.
Yeah, she's
the fucking
Brienne
girl from Game
Tarth.
of Thrones. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool. But yeah, she never once removed her helmet. You heard her voice.
Yeah.
That's about it. But hopefully, it's kind of weird because everyone on that Death Star, I think is going to live even though they blew it up. Which is, I think they're all going to get out somehow.
Yep.
Somehow. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of time. I mean, spoilers. Spoilers, that lightsaber fight was really cool. And
stop saying spoilers.
I know, I'm just going to say it anyway.
Forever.
But I thought that lightsaber fight was really cool on the ice planet. Both sides. Finn I like that Finn tried to do it. And I like that he wanted to save a girl who never needs to be saved ever.
No.
She's super self-efficient.
And that starts at the beginning of the movie when he's grabbing her hand and running, and she's like, I know how to run without you holding my hand.
But then she grabs his hand and pulls him up, and that was cool.
Yeah.
And then he does the part, even when he meets her, he's like, I'm going to go help her, and she just kicks these guys' ass, and he's like, oh, well, okay.
Nope.
I don't need to help her.
Yep.
I liked her, but she's still very much an analog of Luke,
Yeah,
and flipped. She's like Luke, but she wants to stay on the planet instead of leaving the planet.
Well, she's not a whiny jerk.
No, well, she's not whiny. But I mean, in where she lives on a desert planet.
She's a woman. And thank fucking Christ that we finally have a super badass Jedi lady to look up to.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, that's great. I mean, that's a great thing.
Thank Christ it's a girl.
Yeah.
I just could not be happier to watch a woman, like you said, save herself over and over and over again.
Yeah. And I think they were trying to go for that, and that's cool. That's very cool. I like that. That's an aspect that I very much like about it. And I like Rey, and I want her to do more stuff. It was just the main. I wish that they tried to be a little more. I understand, they want to win back the fans or whatever, but
formulaic. You felt it was formulaic. But
I also felt like they kind of treated me like an idiot too.
Sure.
I
think it's a fine line because
I kind of felt like. Continue.
Well, I was just going to say they're trying to sort of scoop up everybody in one great big Star Wars hug. Little kids, 14-year-old kids, 20-year-old kids who liked
money.
episode 1, 2, 3.
Money,
Well, yeah, but yes, of course they want that money.
Well, they had to. They spent a lot of money on it. I read a thing.
And also the 30, 40, 50-year-old people who loved this when they were kids or teenagers or 20-year-olds.
Sure, yeah. They want everyone to like this one. That's basically what they're trying to do. And I understand that.
And that's a big bridge.
Yeah.
That's a big bridge with no sides. You could kill your father on it at any minute.
Yeah.
It's very precarious.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, it's no handrails. It's like the no handrails father killing area.
Yeah, it's not good. Level 3. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
So...
No, I understand that. I mean, and I understand that. And what they're trying... And that's why I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool that you're going to have, the original actors in it.
Yeah.
And they're going to pass the torch to the new guys. I'm fine with that.
You know what I read today,
I'm completely fine with that. But the problem was that they just repeated too much.
Yes.
I want to learn new things. I want to see new planets. I want to see...
Sure.
And we did, but they look the same. And I don't need... Please, no more Death Stars. Please, can you come up with something else? I've had enough Death Stars.
Yeah.
Really. And one that kills 5 planets was just
It'd be great if it were more...
really? Come on.
It'd be great if it were more subversive. If they were more, infiltrating. If it were more spy things. If it were more underground. If it were less overt of a let's build a giant planet that kills other planets.
Yeah, and I was hoping that things had changed in 30 years in Star Wars world, right?
Yeah.
There's
Well, maybe that's part of the point, though.
The rebellion is like I said.
Maybe the cyclical nature of war. You know what I mean?
And it's just the Empire will always be in power, but called something else. I mean, I don't.
Or fighting for power.
Maybe episode 8, the whatever knocks back or whatever smacks forward. It'll probably be called the Force hits forward. It'll basically be Empire Strikes Back, but with the word switched.
Force
I'm sure.
forward.
I want to let's bet a dinner on this for whenever episode 8 comes out.
Yeah,
it's going to start with the Resistance in a base, probably in a hot planet or a forest planet, but not an ice planet. It's going to be they're going to have a base. They're going to be hiding. They're going to be hiding from the First Order.
Jungle planet or hot planet.
Rey is going to be there. Finn will probably be there. Maybe one of them will get attacked by a monster. Rey's going to end up going to meet Luke Yoda style for a while.
Yep.
There's going to be a trap set up where she has to go meet Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's going to tell him that he's her brother or something. She's going to be like, why?
Do you think
somebody will get frozen, and then the next one we'll see Death Star 4. Will be episode 9.
Okay.
And I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of and at this rate, I would put money on, maybe not all that other stuff, but it's starting with them hiding in a base somewhere that looks like the Hoth base, and that the First Order is searching for them. I would put money on that's the way the next movie is going to start.
Okay. We're shaking now.
Yeah. That's what I think. I mean, just with the way that this one was?
I don't think so at all. I think we're going to start right where we left off. I think we're going to start with Luke on a mountain.
No, I don't know. There's going to be time passage. The First Order is going to be searching for the Resistance, and she's going to come back to Luke, and they would have had some in-between movie talk.
I think either we're going to start with Luke on a mountain, or we're going to start in the past.
The past?
The past.
What, like a time jump back?
Yeah, we're going to go backwards.
You're going to go backwards and you're going to explain all the shit that happened in the first movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be weird. I don't know.
Not all of it, but maybe where Luke is. We'll get a piece.
Yeah.
What happened to Kylo Ren and Luke? Like, we'll get a nugget of knowledge at the beginning, and then we'll move forward in time.
What I realized later, and what I should have said was my very first disappointment, and it was right in front of me at the very beginning of the movie, and I didn't notice it until later. But the biggest disappointment of this movie was when I heard that they were making another Star Wars movie with the original cast. The one fucking thing that I wanted to see was the original cast together again. And you know what I can never see now? The original cast together again.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck, man? Like, you want to take the original fans in there and you won't give them that? Like, that was the beauty. That was what was so beautiful of the original trilogy. Was like their chemistry, right?
No, I never
want to see fucking Luke and Han and Leia all in the fucking same room together, and we're not going to see that. I thought
Luke was going to be not around because he's not even on the poster. I
understood that now, but that's a weird move, to make this.
I know
it should have been called Episode 7: The Search for Luke, right? Because that's. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like. I'm not saying it was fun. I had a good time to watch it, but I feel like it's one of those things. It's like it's like it's like J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movies. Like, it's very like popcorn. There's like no substance to it. It's like fun to watch once, but if you try to think about it, your brain hurts because none of it has any depth to it. You know what I mean? It's like too like it's too like face level. There's not like much behind it.
I think it needs some more.
That's what I felt. Like,
I think it needs some more roots. I think you're right about that. It needs
a lot of roots. Like, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny, but it's like.
It is fun.
At the end of it, like, there's not anything like that makes me think about it. Like, really, like, makes me wonder. Be like, oh, it's like.
No, we need some more mystery as well.
Yeah, there's just no. I feel like it's.
I know.
There's no depth to it at all.
I don't disagree with you. But
like I said, there's a lot of...
That does not mean that I did not enjoy it. I really did. I really liked Finn.
Yeah.
I really liked Rey.
I like Finn and Rey a lot in BB-8, but like just the story as a whole was just empty.
No, the story as a whole to me was a torch passing story. It was a bridge crossing story.
Which is fine, but it doesn't have to have the same beats as the original trilogy.
You're right.
Which they're very much like...
You're right.
Doing it as a sequel to where like... What would that? And I read an interview with this when I should have saw it coming. Where they're like, what worked for the first one, and I understood that as like, well, maybe we're going to try to get the same chemistry that we had in the first one, which I'm like, that's great. We need that. That's awesome. I want that in there.
Yeah.
But what they really meant was like, where are all these moments that we had in the first one? It's like the sequel to Dumb and Dumber, where it's like we're going to do every single joke again, but in a different way. But it's not funny this time.
Thankfully, I didn't see either.
I saw it and it was awful. But I'm just saying that it reminded me of that to a point, sadly. It also reminded me of, like, Star Trek Into Darkness.
I know.
I'm sorry, but it did, like, where it was like, it's like, let's tell Wrath of Khan again, but have spoilers. Don't see that movie, but spoilers. Kirk dies instead of Spock.
Well, that was really
that
messed
and this
up.
other thing.
It felt
kind of like that. Where it's like same thing, but let's flip it.
I don't understand why they did that at all. I don't understand why they built a whole universe and gave themselves the ability to say, this is a different timeline.
Which I thought that was actually kind of brilliant.
Super brilliant, because it gives them the
different...
chance to have, like, all these characters explore all these new worlds.
Yeah.
But we didn't have that in Star Wars. We didn't say, now we have a new timeline. No, we're still in the same world.
But it did feel a lot like Into Darkness, right? Where it's like a remake and we're just gonna kind of flip things, right?
Yes.
I mean, you could even say to a point.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I like Finn, but you could even say to a point that Finn was a flip of Luke and the Death Star. You know, Luke puts on a stormtrooper outfit to pretend to be a stormtrooper. He puts on a rebel outfit to pretend to be a rebel.
Yeah, he does.
What about that? I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know, I feel like they took a lot of the same plot and flipped it.
But in that, he becomes a rebel. Luke doesn't become a stormtrooper.
No, well, he has to.
Finn becomes a rebel.
Yeah.
You could argue that he was, like, always a rebel. He just
so what about
until he got into battle.
Yeah. So what about what's her name, Maz? The little
Maz.
The little orange head looking thing.
Yeah, I have her name right here.
I felt like she looked like an orange. She looked like an orange with some bad spots on her, where her eyes, I guess.
Maz Kanata.
Yeah, Maz Kanata. So there's your cantina part, obviously.
Yep, there is the cantina.
And that one part I thought was kind of dumb too, where it's like, hi, Empire. I'm just going to call him Empire. I'm not going to call him First Order anymore.
Fine, babe.
He's like, hey, Empire, there's a person here. The other dude's like, hey, Resistance, there's a person here. So just so they can both show up at the same time.
So they can have a fight. So they can have a big fight.
Yeah, which I did. I mean, I did like them showing up and saving them. That's cool. There's some cool fights there. You know, that part in the forest was weird the first time. The first forest, which I think you're correct.
Yeah.
We had a conversation before. Well, you tell them. You tell them. It's a podcast. Tell them.
It is a podcast. So I thought that the first time that Finn and Rey are running through the forest.
Finn was still...
It wasn't Finn, it was just Rey?
Finn wasn't there, it was just Rey. She ran by herself, because they both kind of ran apart separately, remember?
Yes.
Because he tried to go with those aliens.
So they were on Maz Kanata's planet.
She ran after she felt the shit from the lightsaber.
Yeah, she's running through the forest, and I thought she was going to go into a cave and have a vision. So I actually thought we were going to...
I did too. They had like a weird sort of cave shot where like she comes around a corner, and I'm like, is that like another Force cave?
She's going to have a vision of whatever. But
Kylo
that didn't
Ren,
happen.
And she cuts his head off. And then her
Kylo Ren is actually there, is what happens.
Yeah, he does show up.
And they're running around on sort of a rocky terrain, rocky, foresty terrain. Running, fighting. Okay,
Does she do any Force stuff in that? I don't remember. Does she show any of her Force ability in that? I think she might have. Didn't she do a little bit in that first meeting? I know he like does the whole like does the Dark City sleep thing, and then like picks her up and takes her. He's like sleep, and then she goes, and then he takes her away.
Yeah,
but I feel like there was some sort of inclination of her Force power in that. I feel like she did something. Like maybe she pushed something, she pulled something. I don't know. We've only seen it one time.
Yeah, it was.
But I feel like there was something in there, because then when he takes her and interrogates her and she responds to it, it was expected. Like I expected that for her.
Well, because he felt it. I remember he felt it, whether she did something or not.
I felt like she did something.
Let's just say, okay.
Well, she had the feelings from the lightsaber, but I felt like there's something else. And I'm sure you people that have seen it a bunch of times would be like, "Oh, she fucking moved the fucking tree or whatever." I don't know, but she might have.
Just write us a note and tell us what we forgot.
Comment it, please. Comment. Nobody ever comments on any of these.
That's okay.
And review us on iTunes, please. I get no reviews.
You get no respect. No respect.
I get no regard. No regard.
So, okay. Also, then later, we're on a different planet. It's cold.
Which planet? Oh, the Death Star planet?
Yep, Death Star planet. Running away, Finn and Rey running away through the forest. I think it's the same forest. Like, I think they use the same location.
I think you're right.
I actually think the physical location is the same. Yeah. Because there are like 2 shots of them coming around the corner there, and I was like, this is the same corner.
Yeah. No, yeah, because that's that cave corner.
Yeah. One has snow on it, and one doesn't.
Yeah. And I liked Rey so much, and I disliked Kylo Ren so much that I like really wanted her to fucking kill him in that fight.
That would have been great.
Like I was waiting for that. I'm like, are you gonna kill him? Are you gonna kill this fucking pansy like right now? Like do that, please.
Well, the great thing about Rey, one of the many great things about Rey is that she has like no knowledge of her power. Right? I mean, she has like 1 iota.
She has no knowledge, but yeah, I've read some like some beef with that, with like her being like. Well, yeah, she's a survivalist.
So I think she would fucking kill him.
But a lot of people want,
I think if she had had a chance, if that chasm had not opened between him.
Yeah.
and she had gotten a chance.
I felt like that was sort of an FU to the end of Revenge of the Sith, which is fine. I'm fine with that, about like, because I didn't necessarily agree with Obi-Wan leaving Anakin either, like to burn to death.
No, of course.
But they were trying to do that. We're like, okay, well, this is maybe why they would leave each other, because she had no way to get back and the planet's blowing up.
Sure.
But
she hasn't quite got her Force jump down yet. We haven't seen her do her crazy jumping.
Yeah. But I was afraid there wasn't going to be there wasn't going to be a whole lot of lightsaber battles in this one.
But there were, and
but there was one really cool one,
and also everybody except for like Kylo Ren fought passably well with his lightsaber, but both Finn and Rey were shitty lightsaber fighters.
Yeah,
which I really appreciated.
But she had that bow thing, so I think she knows how to fight somewhat.
Yeah, but she tried to fight with it like it was a two-handed stick, which meant she was, like, shoving it.
Yeah, so there was a lot of stabbing, like,
she
in her
can't hold it with her two hands
sure.
like she's used to. So I felt like the fight choreography was really fucking smart. Yeah. How does a person who's used to fighting with a two-handed bow now fight with a one-handed weapon?
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job.
Sure.
And Finn's just a flailing McFlailer. How did
he was just kind of anger. He was a lot of anger. Like he was just kind of like just
mad fighting.
And he was fighting that stormtrooper that he maybe knew that had a lightsaber deflector.
You know what I was happy?
That was left over from the Sith War.
You know what I was happy not to see?
I
think that we can both agree that the mark of a good Jedi lightsaber fighter is twirling. If you can twirl your weapon a lot, then you're a very good lightsaber fighter.
I thought Kylo Ren flipped his lightsaber a few times.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say, and
which
that's
which is talent, because you got those stupid fucking side things, which they gave a reason to. So.
Yes, but that's how we know that Finn and Rey were not good lightsaber fighters. They didn't do a lot of twirling.
And they didn't spin either. They didn't do the Jedi spin. It's in every movie. Even Old Man Obi-Wan does it in Episode 4.
As we know, they're wasting a lot of energy spinning and twirling.
So yeah, they fought in the. On the subject of how you were talking about the way she fought, like they'd probably never do this, but wouldn't it be really cool if Maz it would have been broken in half. I was gonna say, like, what if she found like Darth Maul's lightsaber somewhere and she ended up getting that? Like, wouldn't that be cool? And she had the double-sided one, so she could fight like with her bow.
Yeah,
same way. Wouldn't that be badass?
Actually, I think what. Yeah.
Well, then it'd be red. But when she goes through the Jedi training and makes her own lightsaber, she can make like a blue.
I don't know that that's gonna happen.
But it's part of the training. You have to make your own lightsaber.
What Trey's talking about is something that doesn't happen in any of the movies at all. It happens in the cartoons. And it was in the books too, I think. And there's a deleted scene in Return of the Jedi where Luke's in a cave building his lightsaber, his green lightsaber, and I mean, I kind of put all this stuff together when I was a kid, I guess. But, when Darth Vader holds his lightsaber and he's like, oh, you built your own lightsaber, that means, like, you're a Jedi now. That's what I thought. And there was a deleted scene of him making a lightsaber. And then in the books, it was part of the Jedi training. Like, in the expanded universe, which isn't canon anymore. But I think that it is canon because it's in the Clone Wars, right? Making your own lightsaber. And it's in in Rebels, too. Like, even the new stuff, Ezra makes his own, like, blaster lightsaber that's super cool. Yes.
And, so she has to make her own lightsaber, right? She's not just going to use Luke's. They probably would because they keep it too familiar. I think it would be really cool
if her lightsaber, and I don't know how this would work because how would it stay together? But it'd be cool if she could hold either end, like farther apart, like you would a bow, and the lightsaber was in the middle.
Yeah. And what if they had a little one in the middle and two little ones on the side? See, but that's too genius for them to make. I mean, they're not going to do that. No, I mean, seriously, that seems like... was one of my problems with it. Which, say whatever the fuck you want about Lucas, but at least he was okay to like go a little off of it. I mean, I know he went maybe too far off of it, but
he sure did.
He put a fucking race in there. That's ballsy. I mean, he still made money because whatever. But that I don't feel like they want to. I feel like they're afraid to go too far away from the original story, which was the opposite of what I kind of wanted. I wanted them to be like, okay, expanded universe. It's done, not canon, like we're making our own shit, like it's going to be this, And that's what I expected them to do, where they're just like, we're going to start from here, and everything, we're going to go in these cool places from the beginning. I was just expected to be a completely different movie. I really did.
I know, and now,
I think that's part of what made me so upset.
That we have a base, now that we're all together, 9-year-olds, 50-year-olds, we're all together, we're in the same universe.
Then they can get a little more weird.
Now we can go.
Yeah. Because I was like, like this. I was thinking before we did this. I'm like, there's so many. A lot of people have like really been, saying like blah blah blah, best movie ever. Like I could think of like a million movies that are better than that movie. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, better Star Wars movie than the sequel to Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy was a fucking Star Wars movie.
Yes. And
it was fucking fantastic.
Great.
And it was a better
movie.
It was a better Star Wars sequel than The Force Awakens. You know what I mean?
I think it was a better movie. I do.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy this.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and I will see it again, and I will see it again and again. And also, I cried about 75 times during this movie.
Yeah.
I cried when we saw Leia for the first time. I cried when I saw Han Solo for the first time.
Yeah.
I cried when Han Solo and Leia saw each other for the first time.
Sure.
I cried when Han Solo died.
Yeah. I think everybody cried when Han Solo died.
Yeah.
Which I knew that was going to happen just because of like Harrison Ford
did not. We knew he didn't want to be in the movie.
What I found out is Harrison Ford wasn't even planning on being in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That's why they froze him. That was the reason that they froze him, was because he was like planning on not even returning for that movie. I didn't know that, but I read that that was basically a way for them to like not fuck themselves, so they can be like, oh, well, he's Jabba owns
stuck
him,
in carbonite, yeah.
So we can be in the next one when he doesn't come back, they can make Lando him. That's probably why he's wearing the clothes, right? They're already starting him into that thing at the end of the movie. That's why he's wearing his clothes. He's like, he'll be the new Han or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he didn't even want to be in the third movie. So, and I'm surprised he did this one, but I know he wanted to get killed in return.
Well, you know why he did this movie?
Cha-ching?
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
He made $25 million.
I don't even want to know what they made
for the movie. Plus, he made $1 million because he broke his leg. Plus, he gets 1% of the profits.
I know. They should have ended this movie the way they ended Romeo and Juliet, when like Shakespeare just laughs at the camera, and it's just like J.J. Abrams laughing at you at the end. He's like, "I own all your money now. You're mine."
He does own all of our money.
They just end it with that, and I don't. In the end of Romeo and Juliet, I don't think Shakespeare was like, "Fuck you." I like that ending better because that's like, it's supposed to be that like he would enjoy that movie if he was alive.
Yes,
and that's why he laughs at it. But it could be like, it could end with him pointing at the camera and be like, "I own you," and then laughs at you.
He does own us.
Not me. I don't know. I still don't like him.
I know, but I'm ready. I'm ready for the next movie. I'm
ready for the next movie too,
also,
because I
want to see this movie again. I really do, because are my initial feelings of excitement and joy only my initial feelings of excitement and joy?
Because it's definitely a ride. I'll give you that. Like it's a ride. It's fun. But I don't think that, like I said, I don't think there's some substance to it. Yes, it's funny. It should be funny. I like the comedy of it, but I don't think there's much beyond that. There wasn't really, like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of compelling new characters other than like Finn and Rey, like for me.
I don't know.
And I feel like they already kind of completed their arcs or whatever. I guess Finn's in the coma, but Rey is already a Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Somehow, and she has to go talk to Luke about. I hope that he's not her father. Like everybody's thinking that.
That's what I think.
You know what you need to do? You want to throw us a fucking curveball? How about she's not related to anybody? There's an idea. Mind explodes, right? Right? Now this is what I was looking for, was some like new material here.
Yeah.
Like what if her family is like this fucking retconned, crazy force sensitive family that we don't even know about? Well, maybe she's like 1/16 Togruta. I'm kidding. She's probably not that. But what if she's like Ahsoka Tano's like great niece?
Well, that'd be fucking really cool.
That'd be amazing. Her like 100,
also, I want to see
niece,
Ahsoka Tano. I want Ahsoka Tano to be alive.
I still love Clone Wars more than The Force Awakens.
The cartoon.
The cartoon, yeah. The Clone Wars cartoon and Rebels even. I like both those better than that movie.
Yeah. I do want to say, though,
I think they had better writing than that movie.
At the end, when Rey was going to... She got in the Millennium Falcon with Chewie. Mm-hmm. And I am actually really interested to see what...
And she was kind of wearing a Han outfit also.
I'm really interested to see what Chewie is without Han.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to know Chewie in that way.
I figured Chewie like go back to Kashyyyk or something because, well, not canon anymore, but in like in the expanded universe books, like Chewie like owed a life debt to him.
Yeah.
Like Jar Jar and Qui-Gon. Yeah. Not to bring that up, but that's what they were referencing in that movie. That's why they're trying to the explanation for Jar Jar
I know.
being like Chewie or whatever.
Yeah.
But Chewie owed Han a life debt because he had like rescued him from because like Wookiees were slaves like in the books and all that. They're enslaved by the Empire, and he like rescued him from. And hopefully they'll get into that in the movie in like the Han Solo thing, which I think is getting directed by the guys who made the Lego movie.
Oh, so it'll be really spastic.
Awful. Yeah.
So we won't be able to watch it.
There's another thing that everybody loves that I didn't like.
I didn't like it either.
If you blink your eyes, you'd miss like 5
locations
in that.
The problem was like I didn't take enough speed before we watched it.
Well, we watched it when we were kind of tipsy too, so it's like the whole time we were like, what the fuck happened?
It's too ADD.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, but I guess, the guys who did that are planning on doing it. But Lawrence Kasdan's going to write that again. I had hope with him writing this one.
I was trying to say something.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to say that at the end of the movie, when they get in the Millennium Falcon, and they're flying around and they end up at this oceany planet and they go to this island, I thought she was going home to see her people.
Oh, you thought she was going to Jakku, yeah.
Yes. No, not Jakku. I thought she was going to the place where she was from originally.
Oh,
because when Kylo Ren has her locked up in his fake Death Star number 2, he says, I see what you see when you're so lonely, and I see the island in the middle of the whatever, and I see...
But isn't that where Luke is also? Doesn't she go to that island? Like, he's on an island.
He is on an island, but that's what I'm... Okay, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to the place where she had come from. Because she was like 5 or 6 or whatever when her family dropped her off on Jakku, sold her on Jakku.
I thought she was younger, but yeah.
Okay, well, however the fuck old she was, she's old enough to have a memory of it. So I thought that the minute that she got in a ship, she was going to go and find her family.
Yeah, no, they make you think that because she keeps talking about how she needs to go back and that they're going to come for her.
And that's where I thought she was going. So when she climbed the top of that mountain and Luke was there, I was like, oh, shit.
Well, then...
That's her family.
But I don't... But that's like... Ugh.
But I hope it isn't,
that's
because
more like,
why would he... More
like knife to
I just don't... Stuff. I feel like Luke, who was a kid who grew up without his family...
Yeah.
Would not be the kind of person who would force his kid to grow up without their family.
But...
Especially in such a hard place like Jakku.
But...
Like, Tatooine, in comparison...
Yeah.
Cake.
Sure, but what we're getting into here...
Yeah, is the cyclical
cycle of this is that, powerful people have kids, gotta hide the kids. That's probably what we're gonna get from it. Because it's just...
What I also didn't understand... Here's some other things that I didn't understand.
There's a lot of stuff that are not understandable. There's a shitload of plot
holes. The First Order is stealing babies and raising them to be...
Yeah, Finn was like practically sort of grown, or whatever. Or he was taken from his parents. Like
he was taken from his
parents.
He
has no memory aside from the Empire.
Yes. He was
which
taken
I thought
from
was
his
interesting
parents.
too.
He was raised to be
he doesn't even have a name.
Stormtrooper.
He didn't have a name. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
Because they didn't release his last name. Everybody's like, oh my god, there's only 2 black people in Star Wars. So he's either like Finn Windu or he's Finn Calrissian. He's got to be one of them because they're like the only black people we've ever seen.
Oh, he might just be Finn 362579 or whatever the fuck his number is. But, okay, so Finn, stolen as a child, raised to be a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they steal babies who had like the Force around them,
to
raise them to be evil Force people?
That's another better idea for that movie than what they did.
Then they could have an army.
I would have fucking loved that. Actually,
little evil kids.
If they had a shitload of fucking Force sensitive, like.
Well, if it's 30 years, I mean, even if they were like 15, even if they were 15 or 17-year-old.
Well, they have like the Inquisitors and Rebels.
Yeah.
They could have had, like, I was expecting some sort of Inquisitor type thing because I kind of was building it with Rebels, where they have like the Vader's Inquisitors and all that. I figured we were going to have that, right? And that would have been great. Better idea than Death Star 3. Another one. Yep. Better than a planet that kills 5 planets.
But it would have been really cool.
Like an army of
Sith. I think that's a way.
An army of Sith Lords, like like the other side of the coin to like episode 2 with like all the Jedis in power and all the like Sith or whatever.
Well, yeah,
that would have been fucking cool as shit. Like I would have liked that.
Well,
another idea that's better than this.
It does seem like okay. We have the title of The Force Awakens, so it seems like the Force has diminished or dissipated, or it hasn't been.
Yeah, but I think it was just
tapped
the Force
into because all the Jedis are dead, I guess,
yeah.
and all the evil people, or most of the evil.
Well, Luke is the only Jedi.
They really need a collective name.
Yeah.
What can we call all the evil, all the
Empire?
Dark side users.
The First Order? Yeah.
No, but the dark, like, okay, so we have Jedis.
Well, they're
These
called
are people
the Sith.
who use but they're not all Sith.
But that's the name of it. But that's the other side to the Jedi. There's the Jedi and the Sith. And the Jedi is the good and the Sith is the bad.
So every evil Jedi is a Sith.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the Sith was a race.
No. Darth Vader's a Sith.
Mm.
No, it's this is like
what are those seven sisters or whatever?
Oh, you mean the
talking about the cartoon now. Sorry, jumping all around.
Oh, it's Darth Maul. His people.
His people.
But but the mom, like there's like an IGN that like covers like all the Jedis.
Yeah.
And all the Jedis and Sith Lords. And it has her in there as a Sith Lord, like the mother that like reborns, that like builds, that like you know when she goes back to her planet.
So I can
the
say
Night Sisters.
The Night Sisters. Yeah. That's right.
Because I think they're Sith too. Because
but I thought because of that, I thought that Sith was a race. But it's not a race.
No, their race
collective
is a different.
Noun, like Jedi.
I forget what they're. Oh no, they're Dathomir is where they're from.
Oh,
they're Dathomirian, I think.
Dathamites.
I only remember that because there's a great comic called Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir.
Oh sure.
Which I read. It was very good. It was actually a sequel to Clone Wars.
I can say any person who is of the dark side who uses the Fourth is a Sith.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So which was funny because that term was never used until the prequels.
Yeah,
but it was all over.
Well, that's obviously why I don't know it and have a heart. I thought it was a
what
race of people.
No, what I was going to say is like trading cards from like the original fucking movie in the 70s say like Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith.
Oh, really?
On it, yeah.
Oh.
So it was like it was kind of a behind the scenes thing or whatever. Like the word Ewok,
like Bespin.
Yes, Bespin is the planet, and Cloud City is floating around Bespin. But it's actually what it is. But no, like Ewoks, like the term Ewok is never said in Return of the Jedi. Nobody says these are Ewoks.
Yeah,
ever. That's just what they're called. Same thing. Like
nobody else says Tusken Raiders, right?
Yeah, nobody says Tusken Raiders either.
Yeah,
they call them Sand People.
Right.
But same thing. Yeah, like. I would bet you could find a figure from the 80s that says Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith. Like, I remember playing, the first time I heard of it was, I remember playing Rebel Alliance, the first Rebel Alliance game. It was a very early CD-ROM game for PC in the 90s. And it said...
Right up there with Myst.
Yeah. Yeah, it was around, I think it was before Myst, but yeah, it was around the same time. It was all like, full motion video stuff. And it says... Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, is in that game when you introduce Vader, and that was the first time I heard Sith.
Sure,
was from that. But it's all over. It was on the trading cards. Like any sort of little paragraph about him said Sith on it. So it was something that Lucas came up with, but didn't mention in any of the movies until later.
Well, thanks for making me not feel like a jerk for not knowing that.
Oh, for the Sith? Yeah. Did I make you feel like a jerk?
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I was just explaining to you.
No, you really didn't. That's what I'm saying. Thank you for
the Sith Order is like the Jedi Order. It's just the other side of it.
Because I really thought the Sith were a people, like Falcons.
Oh, no. No, they're the evil, or the Sith.
Sure.
But now they're the Ren. Whatever. That's what they call it. Knights of Ren instead of Knights of Sith. Well, I don't know what that means. So they're not Darth, so maybe that'll be a different thing. Because Kylo Ren's not like... Which is another weird step, right? Like, his whole purpose for wearing a mask and making his... He kind of
Let's just get into Kylo Ren.
You want to get into kind of?
I really want to get into
like lightsaber tantrum here.
Yeah.
Yeah, those lightsabers. See, a lot of people love those.
No,
I thought they were fucking dumb.
Well, let me just say the most obvious thing.
I just want to say your joke about the when he destroys the computer.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah. Okay, you get into that then because I thought that was a great joke.
Well, it wasn't even a joke though. I was being honest. In the first time we see him destroy that console. He gets his lightsaber out. He beats the shit out of the console. It's completely destroyed, mutilated, melted. Obviously, that did something.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, that was some part of the Death Star planet. Mm-hmm. You don't just build mechanical, computerized shit for no reason. Yeah. What did he destroy?
I really wish there would have been a joke in the movie, like right when the thing's about to blow up, like when they're bombing that thing.
Yeah, they're like, if only we had this button.
And Snoke was like, what about the computer that we made that protected that hole? That if they shot it, like it wouldn't kill us. You know, we learned the other Death Star. We made that. Remember, we made that thing. It had the shield.
No, I destroyed that. No, I got really mad
earlier. Well, Kylo Ren destroyed it. He's like, God damn it. Like, that fucking kid. Like, really? Leave him here. Like, seriously, leave that fucking punk on this thing. Dude, Hux, here's a light. So you're the fucking dude. Let's get out of here. You and me, we're going to go fucking
we'll
do our own thing.
That would be amazing.
Because Hux was like, the ultimate evil dude, General Hux, which is, he was like the Moff Tarkin, but not the Moff Tarkin. Because Moff Tarkin was way cooler. Because what I liked about Tarkin was, from the original movie, was Tarkin would put Vader in his place. He'd just be like, "Don't do that." And Vader would be like, "Okay." So, but yeah, like Kylo Ren, he just.
But he follows in his family's tradition.
This is what I've heard
of whiny assholes.
Yeah, of whiny assholes. Yes, like Luke and Anakin.
And Anakin, both whiny little bitches.
Which, like, people are like, "Oh, well, he's like a better Anakin or whatever." But I'm like, but that's not. I don't feel like that's a path to take. I don't think that's what we should do.
He's a better actor.
Yes, he's a better actor than Hayden
Christensen.
That's all I'll give him that.
That's all we can say about it.
But I find I found his character completely uninteresting.
I will agree
and
with
I felt him to not be a compelling villain in any way.
I will
I didn't feel for
agree
him,
with you.
He was no Purple Man.
And he was no Purple Man. You're absolutely right. He was no David
But that
Tennant.
was another thing that was much better than The Force Awakens was Jessica Jones. I'm just saying, I could think of a lot of things
this year
that came out that were much better.
Well, they had 13 hours to do what this movie had to do. And I'm just saying.
They did. I had this idea of, like, because I feel like Marvel's, like, nailed it so well lately,
They have been nailed
that I felt like that Star Wars was going to follow suit and Star Wars was going to nail it too. But it's like a whole different thing because Marvel has like these, like decades and decades of like brilliantly written stories that you could pull from.
Yes.
It's a little easier. And Star Wars, they do. I mean, well, they're not. I don't think those expanded universe books, are anywhere written as good as like a lot of the comic book, Marvel stuff, but I'm just saying I don't feel like they have like maybe as much as a framework other than just remaking the old movies.
Well, that's
which is what they did. Yeah.
Let's talk about Kylo Ren's fake mask. Kylo Ren wears a mask because he wants to be like Darth Vader. Yeah.
So that was a weird thing. Like
he just wants to be Darth Vader. Somehow we
also
don't
not explained.
We don't know. But let's guess the easy guess.
What?
In that Luke is training Kylo Ren. Mm-hmm. Kylo Ren finds out that Luke is the son of Darth Vader.
Yeah, he didn't know
that. Finds out through the training or whatever, through the use of the Force.
Yeah.
Feels.
Sure. You don't think that like Leia? Side. I'm sure there's going to be some. There's going to be some spin-off of like younger Kylo Ren days.
So he's learning about the Force.
Yeah.
Something happens. He goes into the cave and he is seduced.
Sure.
To the dark side.
Yeah.
So he leaves and becomes a Dark Lord of the Sith.
Sure.
Or a fuck Lord of the Ren, whatever the shit he is now. I don't know. He becomes a bad guy. Mm-hmm. Leia and Han are so devastated. Han so much so that he can't even talk to Leia and he leaves.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So they break up? Yeah.
Yes. Luke... Also, the same thing. So devastated in his own self, he lost his sister's child.
Is that why he pussed out and went to go hang out?
Yeah, he Dagobud.
Yeah,
the shit out of there.
Sure. People are like they always give a lot of shit to the prequels, which more power to them. Whatever. I've grown to love them just as whatever. I don't think they're great movies necessarily, but I have enjoyment from them. But this new movie I felt like made a lot of the same mistakes of the prequels, even though they
which means that in time you'll grow to love it.
Yeah, right. Well, that was because that was the only Star Wars I had. Was that, and I grew to love parts of it. But this was supposed to be like this, like beautiful thing that was better than that, and it wasn't.
And it
wasn't at all.
But I think it's the push towards that.
So I won't like it until like episode 9.
No, there's 8. You could like 8.
maybe, I don't know.
We're getting there.
I feel like I'm at, like I said, along. I feel like what I said before, I feel like I'm at the point...
the sooner that we can kill Kylo Ren, the better.
But they're not going, they're going to use him through all of them.
I know.
And he's going to sacrifice, and he's going to save Rey from Snoke while he's electrocuting her. And he'll get electrocuted too and killed, and then show up as a blue Force ghost on the planet of Fendor, where they hang out after they blow up Death Star 4. You know, they're not even going to hide it. They're going to call it Fendor.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll go back to Endor, and the Ewoks are older now, and they're gray. They're just a little gray.
And the baby ones are all grown up.
Yeah, they're grown up, and there's other
new
babies.
babies.
Yeah. I don't know.
But now they have guns.
I don't know. I felt I remember when we were at Target that one time, and there was like that Kylo Ren Infinity figure. I'm like, oh, look, he's out. And you're like, we haven't seen the movie yet. And I'm like, you're right. And now I don't even want to buy the playset for Force Awakens. I don't even want to play it. I don't even want to play the Infinity game.
Yeah.
Because I just don't, yeah.
Well, he is a really annoying villain.
And I don't like him at all.
And hopefully maybe we'll get more of the Supreme Giant
Supreme Leader Snoke. I don't really like... the only person...
His name does not stick.
I think the only person I liked of the new bad guys was Phasma, and she didn't do anything.
Phasma.
She was the only one I wanted to do more.
That redheaded guy was in a movie called About Time, which I told you about.
Was that Hux?
Is that Hux? The redheaded guy?
The guy...
British, long face?
Yeah.
The other guy.
General Hux. Yeah. He was the guy who talks to Snoke, the other guy who was in Kylo Ren.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That's General Hux, which kicks me... That's funny because it reminds me of the cat Huxtable that used to live here. I was like, oh, General Hux? You mean like Hux, the kitty?
There was a big smooshy kitty named Huxtable who used to live in this house that we live in.
But that was General Hux. He's the one that he talks to because they do they do the moment of Tarkin where he's like,
I thought
leave.
He was very good. He seemed very evil.
Where he's like, leave now in our time of.
So I'd like to have some more of him.
But he was basically the other Tarkin.
Yeah.
But no way as fucking cool as Tarkin. I mean, Tarkin's Peter Cushing.
I really did like that scene on
I wish that he would have been more like Tarkin to be like, shut up, Kylo. Or he could shush him.
I wish he did.
Because Tarkin was totally in power.
I liked the scene on Maz Kanata's planet, though. I liked the new cantina.
It felt too much like all the cantina stuff was just like, okay, I'm
aliens
drinks,
options,
aliens drinks, wretched hive of scum and villainy. I understand
the lightsaber.
That part I liked. I like the lightsaber stuff. Cool. She feels the lightsaber. She touches the lightsaber. I heard Yoda's voice. Mm-hmm. You heard Yoda's. I think Yoda's voice was in that.
I also think that I heard some Darth Vader breathing.
Maybe, yeah. That part was really cool. I like that vision of Luke in the rain and R2. Okay. We haven't talked about it yet, but another stupid plot point. R2-D2 being out of battery power until the end of the movie.
He wasn't out of battery power.
What was he, fucking being emo and sobbing? Or why?
Yes.
They were both being emo. Him and Luke were like, meh, I don't want to.
He was super emo. R2...
They're all
C-3PO said
Kylo
that
Ren,
he's put himself on reserve battery ever since Master Luke left. So he was in mourning.
Yeah, but you understand that that's on the level of unobtainium. That's almost that's almost like Avatar bullshit writing there. Where it's all this dumb catalyst shit that we're just going to throw in there to make that's what really kind of pisses me off about it is well, he's doing this because this, and this is why this is going to happen. But it's just going to do it Deus Machina for no reason in the end.
Yeah, I really did. I liked the scene when BB-8 and R2-D2 met.
Yeah, no, that was cool. And what, the BB-8 charged him somehow? He met him and that made him wake up?
No, I don't think that's what happened.
But it's where certain things happen at certain plot points but don't make any sense.
What would be really cool? It would be really cool if R2-D2 felt the Force.
Oh, yeah. That would be cool.
Really. What if the droid could feel the Force, and he also felt so. Mm-hmm. And so then when they came back and he felt this need, what if the Force awakened in him?
Yeah, maybe. That's a good idea. But on the flip side of this movie, that weren't good ideas. There's one thing I want to talk about before I forget.
Go for it.
What about the soundtrack? Like, I felt like there was no memorable themes in that, right?
Happened?
Like, you didn't even know it was there until, like, people weren't talking, and then maybe you heard a little bit, right?
I remember actually thinking...
Because that's another thing I praised the shit out of for prequels.
I know, I agree with you.
Because those soundtracks were fucking awesome. Like, no matter how bad the movie was...
The first time you saw the X-Wings, like, open up their wings and become X-Wings, and everybody was cheering and clapping, I remember thinking... Where's the music?
Yeah.
Like, what are we missing right now? And it is the soundtrack.
Right?
Like, it was supremely lacking. We have never talked about this before.
I haven't read anybody... No, this is what I... Like, because I...
But I wanted to say that to you in the movie.
Oh, sure. Because thinking about it, I'm like... There's no themes to this. Because, like... Say whatever you want about episode 3, but you'll think about that. That song's awesome. That song's fucking amazing. And, like, the love theme and, like, the Vader fight. Like, all that music was fantastic. Like, nobody would say anything bad about Williams' score for this movie.
It was present.
Yeah.
And the music in this was absent.
It was a character. That's part of what was so great about Star Wars, and the original ones, too. Is the music was the character. And, like, Vader was better Vader because of na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
I know,
it was, like... was him, because that was like...
But the musical themes in this were really...
But there was I heard, like, no Kylo Ren theme, no Rey theme, right? Like, that would have been normal.
If they were there, the thing is, if they were there, they were
barely there, right? Yeah.
That because that is a thing that I want to notice.
Well, for Star Wars, I think that's important. I think the music is a part of the movie.
It's not something that
I think it helps push the story.
It's not something that I would... neglect to listen for, you know what I mean?
No. I mean, like I said, that's always been. I mean, that's been
my
favorite. It's been my favorite parts of the movie. Is the soundtrack. I'm so
glad you brought that up because I wanted to say that to you while we were watching it.
Yeah, because I own all of the soundtracks of the prequels and the original movie, and I don't have any reason to buy this one. For my soundtrack,
senior piano recital, I played the Luke and Leia theme.
Yeah.
So I feel you.
Sure, yeah.
We are nerds in this respect together.
Yeah, but it didn't. But I felt like the soundtrack was non-existent, right? That it wasn't in there.
No, I did not feel it at all.
Yeah, which was another big disappointment for me. From what I wanted from the original trilogy that was not in there. Mm-hmm. Was these like and yes, there's like some themes that you've heard already. Yeah, you get the opening Star Wars music. But I didn't. But honestly, in the movie, I could not tell you a single part where the music was a part of it.
No.
From that movie, where there's where like like Empire Strikes Back, when you see Vader, like, and it's like that fucking Imperial March music right there, which becomes his like theme after that. You know? Or like even like them in the
maybe they were trying. I don't know,
because like everything had,
maybe there was a reason for it, but I don't know what it could be.
Yeah, there's like the Jawas songs, like anything. I mean, I just felt like everything had an extra.
The only
character.
time there was music, I must have been at the new cantina, and I can't remember that music at all.
Yeah,
there must have been music there.
Yeah, I think there was, but it wasn't.
But I can't remember it.
But it wasn't like.
It's in no way memorable.
Yeah, it wasn't that. It wasn't that.
It wasn't even.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that.
Or Lapty Neck.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Lapty Neck.
Not even that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there was not. Yeah, I really didn't. Yeah, I felt like a real emptiness from the music too.
You know what else I didn't like? Here's the thing I didn't like. I didn't like that they captured Phasma, and they were like, lower the shields, and she was like, okay.
I figured she had like put something in the computer they didn't know about, right?
Yeah, she was like, she lowered the shields, and they like at one point nobody even had a gun or a blaster on her, and she's just like sitting there like,
yeah, right, yeah, she did.
I lowered the shields,
she's like, well,
guys.
I almost defeated me.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And then where does she go? They just like leave, let her go. Okay, leave, and we're gonna leave this area also, and nobody pay attention to this area anymore. And don't come back here and put the shields back up.
Don't expect me to explain. Don't expect me to explain this movie. Like I said, I didn't like it. So
you can't explain it.
So I still liked it. I can't defend it.
Regardless of what I'm going to say, regardless of any bad thing I'm going to say, my heart was so swollen with joy to be there. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to cry just thinking about being there.
There were some cool parts to it. Trying to find any sort of substance from it just makes me sad.
Yeah.
That it wasn't,
Its
that there was
roots are not
there was
deep.
no extra stuff to it at all.
Yeah.
At least, like, the original Star Wars 77 one, we had, like, talks of the Clone Wars and, like, his father and,
Well,
like,
there
all
was
that
just
shit
a
you
bunch
didn't
of
know
shit
about, I
we
guess.
didn't know. And
But I felt like they intrigued you more on that
we know too
one.
much.
Yeah.
We have 30 years, and there wasn't enough stuff that happened in 30 years, apparently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess maybe they're trying to, like, get that intrigue, but I don't think it was there. Like, that shit that, like, Obi-Wan tells Luke and all that when he first meets him and gives him the lightsaber. Like, I thought that was really cool when I was a kid, but I don't know. Like, I don't feel like there was a whole lot of that. Like, nobody... Well, I mean, I guess Han and Leia were like, oh, we lost him, bring him back or whatever. But there's not a whole lot of talk about, like, a war that you didn't see or, like, or Jedi's or his father. What?
So, all of the Sith have red lightsabers.
Yeah.
So, how do they turn red?
I think they just use a different gem. I don't know. I thought it was a red gem.
So you think that they have to go build a new lightsaber once they become Sith?
They do, yeah.
They have to go to a secret red gem cave.
Why was... yeah, I think so. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the details of it.
Or do you think something about their darkness turns them red?
Well, then, no. I mean, I didn't think so. Because, I mean...
Well, I just wonder because, okay, Kylo Ren...
Well, Grievous had lightsabers that he had stolen from dead Jedis. And he wasn't necessarily
Does
Sith,
Kylo Ren also have a Jedi lightsaber tucked away somewhere?
He might have when he worked with Luke.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, with him being his, like, bratty, shitty kid self, I could see him, like, being like, Luke's like, here are these gems. He's like, I don't want those gems. I don't want them. And then he goes and makes his shitty lightsaber, like, doesn't have a constant flow or anything. Because his lightsaber's all like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I was when I saw it, I'm like, oh, it looks like that because there's no Jedi's around to teach him how to make a good lightsaber.
Well, that could be.
That's why he made this dumb, like, 2-year-old lightsaber. That's like his blanket. He won't, like, ever get rid of. He's like, I like my good one. It has the side fire things. You can put it into people's shoulders when you fight. You know, little baby Ren. I feel like. I don't know. I felt like he read too many of those Vader and Son books. You know,
I feel like the
kid cartoon.
I feel like he was too old to be acting so
to be
petulant.
such a fucking brat. Yeah, to be such a fucking idiot. And he's like, I hate my dad. Why? Because I hate my dad. Like there's a lot of stuff that they just like. We're just gonna say it like this, and that's just how it is. You know, like these guys are bad. These guys are good. No, you know, they just are. They're bad. Don't like them. Like them.
For the Sith, that they have to just, like, they end up with all the whiny little bitches.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to use the dark side? Okay. I guess we have to say yes, because there aren't very many people who want to use the dark side.
Yeah, they'll take whoever will come.
We'll take every little fucking asshole that ever got angry at their dad.
Ever since Lucas said there can only be 2, you know, we just got to take whoever comes. But Darth Maul was cool.
Darth Maul was cool. You know what's cool about Darth Maul?
Actually, you know what? On the thoughts of hold your thought. On the thoughts of Rey versus Ren, what I thought coming out of it was, you know, he's because like we were like, oh, she should kill him. It was like the complete flip side of Episode 1, where it's like Darth Maul's really cool, and then Darth Maul's dead, and then you're like, Kylo Ren sucks, and then Kylo Ren's still alive.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say.
However many movies.
It was like we wanted to keep Darth Maul as much as we wanted to kill Kylo Ren.
Yeah, it's like we got a good character, kill him. You know, it's like bad character, keep it through the whole movie. It's like, ugh.
But I would take any of those 7 sisters.
Maybe they'll Jar Jar him and he'll like have like one line in the next movie. I don't think they will.
No, I don't think they will. But there's so many evil characters that we've run into in the cartoons.
Yeah.
That I feel like it's not hard to find some evil.
There's better ones. Yeah.
There's better evil.
Well, bringing Darth Maul back in the Clone Wars, which I thought was fucking fantastic. Like his brother Savage Opress was pretty awesome. Asajj Ventress was amazing. She was very cool too.
So cool.
Yeah. So and they developed Grievous better than the movie. Well, they had more time too. They did more stuff with him.
But Grievous is
because Grievous was an interesting character because he's actually not a Sith Lord.
No.
He's just like an evil robot thing.
He's just an evil robot who learned to use lightsabers.
But he was trained. See, I didn't really know.
Well, he said he was trained.
He was trained by Count Dooku.
Weaponry.
Well, he was trained by Count Dooku. I know that Count Dooku trained him, but he's not a Sith Lord. Like he doesn't have Force powers. Like he can't do like Force push and shit like that.
Right.
He doesn't do any of that.
He just has 4 fucking arms.
And all of his all of his lightsabers are from Jedis he's killed.
Like he keeps from stolen lightsabers.
Yeah, he keeps them. Yeah. He keeps them as trophies from Jedis that he's killed.
Sure, I do know that.
So he uses them, which is cool. That's a cool idea.
It's super cool.
A bad guy
and really evil
that uses like good lightsabers from. It's like having like the scouts or whatever.
Disprove my. Well, if he doesn't have the Force, maybe not.
He doesn't use the Force. That's why they're saying he's not a Sith. But I always wondered about that, why he wasn't a Sith. But he doesn't have, he never made a lightsaber. Maybe that's why he never made his own lightsaber. I told you, it's part of the training. I told you it's in there.
Yeah.
He never made his own lightsaber.
He never made his own lightsaber, no.
Yeah.
Or he never made his own lightsaber his lightsabers wouldn't turn red based on his evil Sithiness.
But I don't know for sure, but I would think that it's some sort of red
gem from a different place.
Sensitive cave. And we watched that, there's a Clone Wars episode with the younglings where they find the gems that talk to them, which I think is a fantastic episode. But maybe it's similar. It would be cool if one of them found a red one somewhere and was like...
We didn't see any kind of younglings of any kind.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, they've done two stories. We didn't
see any fucking kids at all, though, in this movie.
Yeah, on the thing you were talking about making the Sith kids, which would have been really cool. But, yeah, that's the same sort of... They've, done that twice where, they're stealing the kids. They did it in the Clone Wars and in the Rebels. I don't know. Maybe they'll add to that.
It just seems stupid to steal kids and make them stormtroopers when you could steal Force kids.
Maybe Snoke has some somewhere.
Well,
and wherever the fuck he's from the land of gigantic.
What if he's really tiny?
Face.
What if he's just projecting himself as really giant and he's
that would be funny.
The size of a mouse.
He's like, we're going to pull for some Wizard of Oz shit here too.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't look at
Pay
the man over there.
Pay no attention to the man behind the screen.
Yeah, don't look at that tiny man over there. That's saying the same things as me. He was a weird character. I don't think anybody really gave a shit about him, about Snoke. Yeah.
He was just really big. Well, I thought he was really there, and then he was a lot cooler.
He was
a lot cooler when I thought that he was a tangible thing. And then when he, flashed out...
Oh, yeah, he's not...
When you found out he was a hologram, I was way less interested.
Yeah, he was the Emperor, so...
Yeah. I wanted him to be a big, giant fucker that they could touch and could stomp on them at any minute.
Yeah.
That's way scarier.
So didn't you think it was a weird... So why does I don't know. So R2-D2 ended up having all the same plans, or all the same map that the Empire had.
Except for a puzzle piece.
Except for that puzzle piece. They're both missing the puzzle piece. But why do they have the same map? And when R2's in it during his emo silence time.
I don't know.
You know the time between the songs they used to put in albums? That's what he's doing. He's just doing that quiet part until you hear the whatever. He's the secret song at the end.
He is the secret
Which
song.
doesn't make any sense, but...
No, I don't know why R2 had those maps.
What about lack of 3PO too? I think all he said was my arm's red, isn't it different or whatever?
I think that
that's his only line was you can't recognize me because my arm's red, right?
Yeah,
it's red.
Funny.
Do you see? It's red.
I've really got to get my new arm.
Yeah.
My old arm, whatever he said.
Yeah.
I really think
his leg was silver in Empire and he never said that. His leg turned silver.
I think it became obvious that R2 was the very favorite droid.
R2 is the favorite droid.
Of course. And
he's always been the favorite droid.
Yes, throughout the movies. And 3PO was funny, but he's only funny when he's being punny, and he's only allowed to be punny a very short amount of the time, or we're very annoyed with him.
Oh, sure, I guess.
So what they wanted was BB-8, because BB-8 is...
BB-8 was very funny. I liked his lighter thumbs up. We forgot that. That was funny.
Great. We decided that BB-8 and R2 are of the same class of droids. They're both mech.
Astromech droids. Yeah. And 3PO
because they help fly the planes.
What is? I mean, he's I know he's human cyborg relations, but he's a
protocol droid.
Protocol droid. Yeah. I was like, what does he call? He's a protocol droid.
Yeah.
So he's Well,
I just watched.
He's basically languages and all that.
I just watched it. Yeah, he speaks 6 million languages.
Yeah, they bought him to help him talk to the moisture evaporators whenever. Yeah.
I just watched an episode of the Clone Wars cartoon. That was all droids, and it was all astromech droid. Yeah. They had a whole operation between them.
I was hoping for more of that. They should have fucking hired those guys to do it. Have Dave Filoni do it, the guy who's the main writer on that, the showrunner.
Well, they really should have gotten some input.
They should have got that guy. Because or even one of the Lucas girls, one of Lucas's kids. She wrote the really awesome story arc with the Order 66 and. With Fives going crazy and all that. It's probably one of my favorite stories.
Absolutely one of my favorite.
Yeah, she wrote all that. But yeah, I mean, I wish they could have picked up some of that writing team. At least it made me really sad when when Disney bought LucasArts and canned like, the LucasArts video game company, which was great, and they also canned Clone Wars, both two things that I thought were fantastic.
Doing really well.
But at least they like did Rebels after that. They like gave them a second one, and I heard they were going to do another. Well, I heard like way before Force Awakens come out was that they were going to do another show in that timeline, like in the 30s, or not in the 30s, and 30 years later, after in the timeline of the Force Awakens, they're going to do another cartoon show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I want the in-betweenies.
But I don't know when that happens.
The
in-betweenies Rebels right now between 3 and 4, but you want like something between 6 and 7. I think that's probably what you'll get with the new one.
That's what I want.
But it'll be closer to 7.
Because I think that's what you want too. Because I think that might help you enjoy 7 a lot more.
So once
if
again,
if you can have 6 seasons.
Well, basically, once again, I'm going to like the cartoon show much better than the movies.
Because it has no budget and they're allowed to do anything they want.
Well, it's going to follow suit. It's going to be where like the cartoon stuff they made was like way better.
Because they're allowed to spend 3 hours.
And they're also allowed to experiment
story.
more.
Yes.
What if they went to that fucking forest planet from Clone Wars in the movie? Wouldn't that be fucking amazing? You remember the forest planet they go to with like the daughter and the son of the light and the dark and all that?
Yeah, they're like gods. I do remember.
Yeah, they're Force users that weren't Jedis or Sith.
Yeah.
I wanted to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe they gotta wait to go to get to the actual like good stuff. I don't know. To get to the real intellectual crazy shit. Like when you want to get weird, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that they just couldn't get weird now.
Yeah, but I wanted to. I mean, it should have been weird to a point for the ones that was looking for something different other than another Death Star and another Empire.
I do agree that they really could have come up with something other than another Death Star, but that doesn't mean that I did not in any way enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Oh, I understand that you enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it at the time. But just thinking back on it, I was just kind of like,
Yeah,
I don't know. The more I thought about it, the more depressed it made me.
I know. It's been a really hard week.
Yeah.
For me, because I have felt
because you've been seeing me like
fall
into the dark side of the movie.
Yeah, and you've just become more and more sullen. The more you think about it, the more against it you become.
Yeah, the more I've thought about it, the more I've disliked it.
I know. That's what I said. It's been hard for me.
So it's made me because I was like, I kind of wanted to see it, but now I don't even want to see it again. I mean, I'll watch it maybe later when it comes out, but I don't even want to pay for it anymore. But it's like I said, it reminds me of Episode 1 again. I'm in like the same state with when Episode 2 came around. I'm like, I don't want to pay for another Star Wars movie. But I don't know. I have high hopes for Rogue One. I think it'll be cool because it's different. It's a story that I know hasn't been done in another movie.
Yep.
So it will actually be different. I think it's a cool idea to make a movie about the opening scroll of Episode 4. And it's sort of a prequel of sorts. Vader's still alive, so Vader can be in it. That's cool,
Yep.
I like Vader. And more Vader's great. Vader's fucking cool, My sister, who doesn't even like Star Wars, thinks Vader's like the coolest character on the whole thing.
Vader's her favorite character.
Yeah.
She does not like Star Wars.
Vader's awesome. Kylo Ren.
Tanya.
Kylo Ren's not awesome, but Vader's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just had to spend his whole life like not being cool in any way, and he's like, well, Vader's cool. I should get a helmet like him. After he got all cut up by Rey, I was hoping that he'll maybe come back with the mask that he actually needs to have.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll actually have breathing problems or whatever.
I hope that he doesn't. I hope that he has a cut up face.
With how fucking emo he was, I'm surprised he didn't like shove his lightsaber into his chest or something like that to give himself like
some wounds,
breathing problems. Yeah,
yeah,
or like throw himself into a volcano,
like a bowl of trees,
like just so he could be burned. Yeah. If he's like that fucking whiny bitch into it, then I don't know. He might burn himself also and cut his own limbs off. So he could be like Vader.
I did think for a second that he might go the other way on the bridge, though.
Yeah, see, that's why people think he's complex. Is because they think he wants to be on the dark side, but he's really light. Like the opposite of Anakin, who wanted to be good but ended up being dark. Like that type of thing. Which I don't think is that. I really don't think that's that genius of a thing. It's just it's like I said before. It's just a flip of something else. It's just I want something new. I don't want it's this, but this part's changed.
Our love can't save us. Only my new powers can.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I liked Anakin better than Kylo Ren, so whatever.
Really? Oh, I definitely still would not say that. I would not say that I liked Anakin better than Kylo Ren.
I liked it. Well, I mean...
No, I'd take Kylo Ren any day.
Not Clone Wars Anakin.
No.
Anakin from the Clone Wars is totally cool.
Anakin from the Clone Wars, the cartoon.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Anakin from the movies, never cool.
I like Revenge of the Sith.
Not
Anakin.
1 minute of cool.
I like Revenge of the Sith Anakin. He quotes Han. But that doesn't even matter. I just don't, I don't know. I don't like Kylo Ren at all. He should have got killed. Have we covered most of it? I feel like we've just ranted and talked back and forth about all the things we didn't like about it. It's a fun ride. If you haven't seen it, I don't know why you're listening to this, because we basically ruined everything.
Wait, let's just keep ruining it. Poe Dameron's not dead.
Yeah, I didn't really care for Poe Dameron either. I was just kind of like...
I liked him.
I was just neutral to him,
Swanky.
Here's another, total plot hole on the level of, Batman 3, whatever the fuck that was called. The Bane one.
Suck it, Bane.
Rise of the poop. It was, how did he get back to the Resistance before Finn did?
I don't think he got that back there before.
Well, he somehow went to wherever the Resistance base was, and then came to the planet that Finn went to after he left Jakku. You know what I mean? He went... Yeah, I know, they left and they got scooped up in Han Solo's ship, which I hated most of that. That fucking monster was stupid, right? That super CGI tentacle thing.
Yeah.
That could have been cut. They could have cut that whole part.
But we needed Han Solo.
I know there were some moments with Han Solo. I liked him. He runs real slowly now because he's older. I liked
he and Chewie, always funny.
Yeah, him and Chewie, they were funny, but yeah, that part with them getting chased by this really bad CGI beast thing. I didn't really care for that.
Rey proving herself to.
Yeah, it's more stuff she and I like their moment when he he's like, oh, I want to hire you,
yeah.
Which you do that later because he's gonna die.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna become the new Han Solo, I guess, with Chewie still.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's. I mean, how do you think he got out of there? Did he take some other ship that was sitting around?
Yep.
He was just kind of like, I'm okay. I went back home, and then I was able to come back here and rescue you.
Or he has a communique, or he has credits, and he could buy himself away off that planet.
Maybe he raced.
If he raced, bless you, J.J. Abrams, for not fucking showing it to us.
Maybe he pod raced on Jakku. That would be hilarious.
You for not fucking showing it to us.
That would be so funny if he pod raced on Jakku.
No, but maybe he had that fucking communicator, and he could be like, I'm stuck here, send a fucking somebody.
Yeah, and get my droid that I went there to find, right?
Yeah, but maybe he can't.
That was the big thing that bothered me about it. Was he's like, I need to go here. I need to find my droid. I need to get, but I'm not there, and now I'm back, and I'm like, hey, I'm okay.
And hey, my droid.
He's like X-Men 3, where they did all this stuff and then they took it back.
Yeah.
Where it's Xavier's dead. No, he's not. Magneto lost his powers. No, he didn't. And he's like, I'm dead, but I'm not. I don't know. Poe Dameron. Yeah, he's a great pilot. Whatever. I was kind of indifferent to him. Yeah.
Man, that guy can fly.
He can fly. Poe Dameron. He can fly and he can make jokes while he's getting tortured. He's that type of man.
I feel like we covered.
Yeah.
Our feelings.
Yeah. Well, is there any? I mean, it's a fun ride. Just don't try to find any sort of substance out of it. I guess.
Or just wait. Just enjoy the ride and wait, and don't be so cynical and demanding.
It's a popcorn flick.
And just eat your popcorn and enjoy it, and cry and be happy that you saw as many of those people as you did, and that Rey is a super fucking badass. And just wait for the next movie for them to tell you.
Don't tell me to be happy to see the people that I saw because I didn't see them together. I wanted to see them all together.
You just saw everybody but Luke.
But I wanted to see, but that really was what I hoped for.
I know.
Was Luke and Leia and Han and Chewie.
Yeah.
Just fucking...
Well, I was really happy to see Han and Chewie and Leia.
Like I told you, Return of the Jedi, one of my favorite parts, when they all get back together, and he's like...
I know.
It's like, how are we doing? And he's like, terrible. He's like, oh, we are normal, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or he says, how are we doing? Like, no, like something like that, like we normally are. And he's like, oh, that bad? I love that whole part. The whole exchange is amazing at the beginning of that movie.
Well...
I wanted to see that again. That would have, lit my heart there if I would have saw, all of them in some situation. And
but Luke my heart was lit in
and Luke not being a pansy.
Luke, I was okay with my heart lit up.
What I'm saying is, if they have some really fucking great next two episodes that have a whole lot of great explaining about like why,
and also a whole lot of mystery.
Why they were so, why all this shit happened, then I'll forgive it. If they can make it.
And you want a bunch of intellectual mystery that you don't know, that is based on nothing that you've heard before, so that you can think about it.
Yeah, I want some intrigue. Is what I want.
Okay. I'm just saying.
But I want something to explain.
You really want a lot of.
I want an apology film.
Dichotomous.
That's what they call it. I want like those movies where they like do a bunch of bad ones and then the next one pretends that those didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like what they're doing with Star Trek 3, that's a whole another movie that's probably going to be awful also. But they're not. But they're not going to like. They're basically going to reference nothing from Into Darkness. They're going to pretend that Into Darkness didn't happen.
Well, because they can't.
With those, so they can't do that because then they'd have nothing to come from. Right?
Everyone's immortal. Cool.
Yeah.
Just take this blood.
Yeah, but I mean, but like Star Wars couldn't do that. It would basically have to be like another sequel to Return of the Jedi, and pretend that Force Awakens didn't happen because they have established all those characters.
Well, right.
Most of the time, they skip like second or third ones that are really bad, and then go to whatever, and they take the number out and say that one didn't. Like
this is going to be great.
Like Highlander did that. Like 2 was bad, and then they called 3 like New Awakening, or they called it a different name, like so you wouldn't think that 2, so you could watch 1 and 3 and not 2,
yeah.
And then 3 is like 2. They like stuff where they do that, where they try to cut out the bad one. I don't know. Yeah, hopes for the next one to be good. I hope Rogue One will be good. I mean, that's a cool story. I think.
Well, I like this one.
I like the idea of Vader being in it.
So, if any of you want to go see it with me, I need somebody to go see it with again because it's not going to be Trey.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so text me.
Maybe I'll see it again. I don't know. Hasn't left a very good taste in my mouth. So, hopefully we didn't bore you too much with our bantering about Force Awakens. But I think we're probably one of the few podcasts that's actually going to tear it apart. So, you should listen to us for that for sure. Well, you already have, but
probably should have said that at the beginning.
Yeah, but I'll put it in the notes. I'll put it in the notes of it and
yeah.
So yeah, signing off from a better galaxy far, far away is we didn't introduce ourselves. I'm Trey Johnson.
I'm Jess Kenyon.
And thanks for listening. Kylo Ren